What's happening YouTube? It's George from 5-Star Guitar Studios. Today in the 4th lesson of how to play guitar in 5 minutes a day, I'm going to teach you guys how to play the blues scale. So we're going to be learning this scale in the key of A, which for starters means you're obviously going to be basing everything off the 5th fret of the E string. It's where you start it, and obviously whenever you're playing along with someone, you're going to want to make sure they're in the key of A as well. I'm also going to clean up my tone here, and I like to practice my scales this way, that way I can hear my mistakes a little better. Before we get into the actual scale itself, I'm going to show you guys some good patterns to use it over and some certain chordings that you can use. The first chord I like to solo it over is obviously, since it's the blues scale, I like to use the 7th chord. Since we're learning in an A, let me show you guys how to play an A 7th chord. The A 7th chord is a fairly bluesy sounding chord. It sounds kind of like this. And the way I play it is I take my pointer finger and I bar down every string on the 5th fret. I take my middle finger and I put it on the 6th fret of the G. And I take my ring finger here and I put it on the 7th fret of the A. It should sound kind of like this. Another thing you can use the blues scale to solo over is the 12-bar blues. In A is where it's commonly played, so that's why I'm going to teach you guys the A's. It'll work out perfectly. I'll show you how to play the 12-bar blues in a separate lesson. So now that we've got that covered, we can go into the actual scale itself. If you guys watched the previous lesson, I showed you guys how to play the pentatonic scale, which goes like this. If you guys have been practicing that, this blues scale is going to be pretty easy to you. Even if you haven't been practicing, it's not too hard of a scale to kind of get a grasp on. The only thing that makes this scale different from the pentatonic scale are 2 added passing tones, which is the E flat note in the scale. And you add those in on the 6th fret of the A and the 8th fret of the G. So anyways, the way this scale goes is I normally set it up with my pointer on the 5th fret and my pinky on the 8th fret is kind of the hand shape, because it's all within, the whole scale is within this box here. And so, now that we know the box, it's just a matter of finding the right notes in the box. And the right notes are 5th fret of the E, 8th fret of the E, 5th fret of the A, 6th fret of the A, 7th fret of the A, 5th fret of the D, 7th fret of the D, 5th fret of the G, 7th fret of the G, 8th fret of the G, 5th fret of the B, 8th fret of the B, 5th fret of the E, 8th fret of the E. So played kind of up to speed, it'll sound like this. And that's how you play the blues scale in A. Thanks for watching, and be sure to email any suggestions to 5starguitarstudios@gmail.com, follow on Twitter, and like the page on Facebook. Also, don't forget to subscribe. See you guys in the next lesson.